So in today's show, we're going to talk about what you really want. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. And if you are coming through, please do let me know. Please let me know if this resonates. I'd love to know your thoughts. Get involved in the community. So listen, I want to talk about a little story that not many people will know. That story is that back in 2001, I went through an application process after leaving college to go and join McDonald's fast track management scheme to becoming a store manager. And I spent maybe 2 years in that position, and I was really young at the time, and it was a great position. And at the time, you know, back then it was great money. It was just me and my girlfriend at the time. And I ended up going through, and I ended up getting a job, and I ended up going in and being assistant to running a store, and actually running a store for a period of time. Now, a lot of people look at it and go, oh, so you manager at McDonald's. But it was actually a really good scheme. There was a really good career focus from it. And I could have been quite happy following that career path and getting up to operational manager and going through that whole route. But the whole time, I always knew that there was something much more to life. There was this overwhelming urge or gut instinct that this wasn't it. And I think many people can relate to this, because then when they work and they do their job, they always end up, I speak to a lot of guys who will end up saying, this can't be it. This is not where I want to be. And what we end up doing is focusing on just the immediate future. So we're not really thinking about the long-term future. And the trigger for me to really change this came about by a film. And we went to go and watch a film called Black Hawk Down. Some of you might know that war film. And before the film started, there was this Royal Marine Commando advert. And it was this young lad running through cross country, going through a tunnel, getting his leg stuck or jammed in a tunnel, and then asking if that was your limit or whether your limit was getting through that. And then the Royal Marine Commando bringing this lad out saying, compose yourself, good lad, off you go. And he fucking run off. And the next scene was him on a boat speeding through high waters with his face camoed on and his green beret. And he went from looking like a young, vulnerable, fragile boy to a fucking man with a green lid on. And I was sold. And I instantly saw this advert, then went on to watch the war film and thought to myself, that is the adventure that I'm looking for. I was looking for adventure back then, you know. I didn't really have massive responsibilities, so I was in a position where I could change. But I suddenly knew what I wanted. That vision of becoming a Royal Marine Commando suddenly became a reality. And the things that I had to do to get there were such things as cancelling a wedding 6 weeks before I was due to get married, leaving a job that I had been heavily invested in, and sort of marked as a future store operational manager. And I left all of that behind. I took another pay cut of about 15 grand, and I went and found myself and my identity in who I was through the military. You know, back then I was like 23, 24, something like that. And it turned out to be the best decision I've ever made in my life, because I often wonder where I would be now, you know, those sliding door moments where we make one decision and go one way, or we have another decision and we go the other way. And it was the best decision I ever made. I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to my phone in the middle of the fucking beach right now, talking and helping men, I feel, if I hadn't gone through that life, if I hadn't gone through everything that I went through. And when I asked two of my one-on-one clients, two guys were on my round table program, and these are two guys I help business owners in terms of moving forwards. And when I asked them what they really wanted, I had to ask them maybe 2 or 3 times, because what we say we want on the surface is initially not the things that we really want. Because the things that we really want, we put one side and we hide them behind, I can't do that. That's unachievable. And I have to like get to the point where I say to you, if there were no consequences, no restrictions, no barriers, but you could do anything that you wanted to do in the future, what would you do? Why would you do it? And it's not to say that, like, you know, it's not to say that you can't do it. It's all about timing. But what I really want people to discover is what they really want out of life. And why they want it. What and why. What they really want and why. Without restrictions, without I can't, without negative mindsets, without somebody saying that's impossible. And I often find that a lot of men's happiness, my own happiness, is at its lowest when I'm confused and conflicted about what I really want out of life. And part of this slips into the remember the mission. So the mission is kind of like knowing what you want and why. And when you figure it out, you slip onto following a mission, following a process. But you have to have some honesty about where you want to be. And I'm talking a lot over the 5-day challenge about emotional connection to wanting to get up and do stuff, having desire, passion and drive to show up every single day. And I feel that many people that are on and off in their journeys, in their process, is because they don't know really what they want. They have no idea why they're working out or why they want to be better. So there is this huge gap, this huge void when it comes to you improving yourself, because you don't know what you want. Or you hide what you want behind I can'ts and self-limiting beliefs. Then you don't have a mission. So I'd say from here, the first thing to start asking yourself is, what do you really want and why? And write that down. And then ask yourself, is that really what you want? Is that going to give you happiness, fulfillment, which is what we're looking for? Is it going to give you a sense of desire and passion and drive? Is it going to give you hunger to wake up in the morning and go after it? And if it is that going to be your mission for the next 5 years? Are you going to have this mission that you always come back to, so when you don't feel like it, you can still show up because you know what you want, you know why, and now it's your mission? And that comes to you working out, that comes to you losing weight, that comes to you finding a job that you want to do, that comes to you starting your own business, that comes to making a relationship work, or accepting that a relationship is over and moving on. And when you make those decisions, that's going to end up creating an identity for yourself. And through this process of knowing who you are, what you want, you suddenly have clarity. Clarity is a very powerful tool. Clarity gives you the identity of who you are. Because right now you probably don't know who you are, because you don't know what you want. You don't know why you're doing things. You're going round in the fucking hamster wheel of doom over and over and over again, right? And we're not progressing. We're doing everything but nothing. So go away. Write down what you want from your life. Share it down below in the comments if you want, and why you want it. Find that emotional connection to find your mission. And it links onto remembering the mission. Because without that passion and drive and desire and emotional connection to the things we want to do, you'll never really be consistent. You'll never really fulfill your potential as a human being, as a bloke. That's it. That's all I got for you today. Tomorrow, we are opening up the doors to the very last 28-day challenge of the year. It's going to take us right up to Christmas. So if you need support, if you need structure, if you need to improve the way that you're living in your life, make sure you look out for the post tomorrow. We've got 20 early bird tickets for you to come along to, and they will be available. So check out the post tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Go and try those tasks that I've done. Don't just listen to the things that I'm saying and going, yeah, I get that. Do it. That's the only other way that you're ever going to improve, is by implementing. Don't procrastinate, don't wait, fucking do it now. Have a good day.